Hello, everyone. All right. There we go. We have picture. It's been a while, but I'm back. Okay. Now I'm back. Uh, that's right. I came up here because this area just seemed a little too devoid of,
Bruh.
it just seemed a little devoid of sites of grace. I haven't been exploring this area enough. What's up, last protagonist? I was like the bruh that totally threw me off.
I can smell you.
God, that is. I thought I would get tired of some of those sounds. Not to toot my own horn, I love them. They're pretty much perfect. No notes. Okay.
I love you, bitch. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
This what? Okay, and hopefully I should be done with my video script soon. I haven't had a ton of time to write lately, but oh jeez. Okay. I'm not ready for that fight anyway, I guess. Been a hot minute since you streamed. Yeah, I had to go to Baltimore for a work thing. Um, then yesterday was a whole deal. A whole deal. Uh, so 4 streams I think I missed. A lot of research into trees. That was I was gonna make a pun like trees go on, but it just didn't. I decided not to, and thank God, that would have been embarrassing. Good thing I didn't say that out loud. I know something vaguely about something called marriage trees. I don't remember if it was like. I guess I'm just more familiar with the fact that the term exists than what it is, but I remember that it sounded vaguely relevant to Elden Ring. Do I want a truncated report? Oh, okay, that's. Damn, that was a good one. um, uh, Leaf. Um, as soon as the stream ends, I'll like scream out like 13 of like the best puns in a row. Trust me, it's no one will be around though. Uh, but they'll be good. You know, people wonder why what the Caelid Wilds looked before Scarlet Rot. Yes, my guess was probably looked like Dragon Barrow or by Red Mane. Yes, yes. I was thinking something along the lines of they're like these weird portraits with like birds flying around them and the rises, but like it's kind of just a picture of trees, so it's not really a useful like image. But yeah, I assumed it was like a foresty kind of area. One thing I've noticed... Oh, okay. One thing I've noticed is that the minor... Normal trees by minor Erd trees tend to be a more orangey golden color. And that most trees in the land between are yellow. Interesting. As opposed to, like, you mean like them being like brown, like their bark is yellow? Oh, their leaves. Right. Oh, that's interesting. Because that also kind of has, like, fall connotations, I feel like. But, you know, I guess gold as well. Golden leaves. Makes sense. It could just be, like, muted gold, I guess. Oh my god. I was just about to say I'm getting stomped, and that would have been really funny if I had planned that as an actual pun. Wow, okay. I think that I am not the right level for this area. Yeah, I'm red-green colorblind. My eyeballs don't do so good. Okay, so I think I only had like 900 runes, so I don't care about those. Let's go to that shack. My point is trees... Oh, trees near... Minor Erd trees are more red-tinged. God, that makes sense, I guess, lore-wise. They have more life in them, maybe from the minor Erd trees. Maybe they draw strength from it through, like, the rune, like a root network, or just like the falling leaves. Okay, so maybe it's supposed to tie into how the Bloomin' Onion Guardians have red flowers. IDK. Yeah, and aren't they're called like blood red, right? Dry as a bone. I always kind of saw that as being like, I don't know, a life coming from death kind of situation. But like, I've always, like, I know that red is like life, but I feel like there's always, well, I don't know, I still don't know what to make of that. I can't get this idea that I had a while ago of like, I know that red is life, but it felt like, maybe that's just because of how life works in Elden Ring. The whole idea of life coming from death was something I tied more to red, but I guess that is just because that's how life works, so never mind.
Well,
Dry and
it's been an
thirsty
age
are
since I've seen a customer.
homonyms, some
How
man's is
can I
thirsting for the
help
dragon
you
blood.
at
That
the
makes
end
a
of
bit
the
more
earth?
sense. I kind of assumed it was something kind of like that. I wish that
Have
they
a
had
safe.
said, like, I guess surrender your heart. Yeah, it's hard to kind of like tie that to blood. Like, when you start also using words like dry. But that makes a lot of sense. Kind of blue. Do I have any... No, I don't. I was hoping that maybe I had... Yeah, I don't have any stuff. I was hoping maybe I had some of that, Guardian garb. But the Bloomin' Guardian garb, I think, is only even found near, like, the Erd tree itself, so... Unless I'm mistaken there. Okay. Let's see how I do against Radon. I had the feeling that I needed to level up, but I don't actually know if I still do.
Champions, welcome.
Right, so I guess...
Stars
Oh,
have aligned.
there was something I wanted to look at. There's like some of these...
General Radon,
Fade to brown.
mightiest demigod of the shattering awaits you. Champions, prepare for battle.
Had to be fed by leaves that fell...
Claim
Okay.
glory.
Yeah, I was looking for something that's like red.
Great rune.
Found blooming in rotten lands.
Celebration of war.
It does feel like, I mean, I guess
Radon Festival.
maybe red is supposed to have like in some kind of connection to death.
Are you good? The festival.
But, right, so more red being in those trees.
Paint you the full picture.
The other thing I've noticed is that in the Altus Plateau, the trees are more yellow, as though they're influenced by the Great Lindell Erd tree. Interesting. Oh, so as opposed to the ones that are near minor Erd trees that get more, like, orangey or, like, reddish.
Inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone.
I mean, I guess that would make sense if the minor Erd trees are still in their, like, you know, abundance phase, like they're growing and
Now he
their
gathers the
life
corpses
force
of
is
four
growing,
friends
or whatever.
alike.
It very much seems like the Erd tree is in the fall of its life, autumn of its life.
Howling at the sky.
Or I guess maybe it's been like in a permanent
We must make
autumn.
Oh, gathering
Now, the most
of
interesting thing to me
champions.
is in Lindell,
The
there's a few
rebels
spots where there
begin.
are blood red
The
trees.
celebration of war.
That's really
The
interesting,
Radon
because also I wondered if
Festival.
maybe, like, you know, they feed the Erd tree with, like, if they ever water it with blood. I don't... It's a really specific thing, you know, Mikola. It seems like such a specific thing to do, to water the tree with his blood, and I just feel like they're another in the lower Lindell area with the graveyard and those who live in death. Is that around the spot where the Erd tree avatar? No, not avatar. The tree spirit is? The putrid tree spirit? Because one of those trees has a hanged person. It's certainly by the tree spirit and Crucible Knight, yeah. Interesting. There's a lot of, like, ashes in that area, too. Well, I guess it could be rubble. I'm wondering if the tree was, like, burned somehow? Alright. Oh! He's candy. Crucible Knight is also very interesting. Especially since... I'm pretty sure one of the whole things with that was, well, they were all said... Never mind, I was thinking of... The Volcano Manor Knight is the one that I think about all the time from the Elden Ring Twitter made a post about him saying, like, all the Crucible Knights used to serve one master. Think not of the one at Volcano Manor. His exception demonstrates the rule, and I think about that all the time. But yeah, I got it mixed up with. Jesus. Okay. So yeah, I think that I might actually be okay to do this fight. I just need to not be right under his weapons when he hits me with them. I need to get hit less. They served Godfrey in his reign. His crown was worn of his strength, kind of the same as Rykard. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and I was thinking something along those lines, but I definitely didn't really feel like I had, like, something that concrete. Like, I was like, maybe it's because Rykard is, like, so strong. But yeah, no, like, that's interesting. It kind of reminds me of how, like, what is it, beasts are drawn to champions or people who would be lord. I don't. My quote memory is terrible right now. Jeez. Let's take a quick look at... Oh my god, wait, do I not have my, I don't have it up. That's... Okay. When I get a second, I will start at my Freecam. Okay. I need to not back up so much. Oh god. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There. Okay. Let's see if I can even the odds a little. Alright, what are you gonna do with those? That's interesting, those rocks remind me of Carian phalanx. Carian glint blades or whatever. Last heal. Last blue juice too. What was that? Guess it was one of his swords. Quote unquote. His rock swords. Okay, let's get that free cam. It's kinda expecting a one-shot from the meteors. Alright, and we're good to go. Now we're good to go. My finger accidentally switched scenes. Wasn't me, it was my finger. He's being ridiculous. Okay, so that's interesting. So I guess the... God. I think I can pause now. Hope I'm not getting sick or something. Let's see, okay, thank God. So... maybe the Halig tree was a minor Erd tree that Mikola just, like, gave particular, you know, attention to. Like, i.e. blood. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna level up a little bit and then come back. I just want a little bit more health. Especially after what happened with the meteor there. Okay, so... we did some stuff there, we did some stuff there. Okay, I think they're actually... oh, down here. Let's maybe check out... Let's check out some Everjails. There's some that I missed over here. What's up, Rancid Nanners? How be the Rings of Eld? They are doing good. It's been a minute since my last stream, because I had work and stuff, but they're going good so far. Been talking about trees. We love trees up in here. Everybody been busy with important stuff this past month, it seems. I was trying to think if there's any, like, memes about that time of year or anything. But, like, yeah, no, it's weird. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a business thing. Maybe I'm not business enough. Well, it's the end of the third quarter, so you gotta get prepped for quarter 4. Q4. Damn. Okay. That Go-Go Gadget Extendo tail over here. Whoops. Huzzah. Go. Alright. So let's go. Yikes. He is doing the most right now. Get disrespected upon. Wake me up when September ends. Feel like yeah, that's definitely what's going on right now. You're on to something. That's why everyone's been busy. They've been busy waking up everyone else. Did I already deal with Weepy Boy? I think so. There... I don't know if I did both of these. I think I'm awake now. The song was about you. The Hell Torrent. So that's interesting, yeah. Last Protagonist was pointing out that some of the minor Erd trees, or around the minor Erd trees, some of the trees appear to be more like orangey or like reddish tinged, making it seem like they might have like a little bit more life in them or something, whereas the trees that are closer to Lindell and like the Erd tree are a little bit more like yellowy. Okay, so this guy is... This dude is a silly little man. Whoops. Cool. Liurnia is the most interesting because this is the only place with green-leaved trees. That's interesting. That is interesting. And these ones only exist where there's not land. Minor urges a stupid amount of lore in them. That is interesting. I wonder if that has something to do with, like, Liurnia having more, like, balance, because it has the moon or something? The trees and the plants are, like, balanced? I don't know. Whereas the other... I think is because they're in the lake and influenced by glintstone. Oh yeah, isn't this place supposed to be cursed? Well, maybe that just means... I don't know if the town is cursed or if the... What does the thing say? I don't know if anything actually confirms that there is a curse, right? Isn't it just sort of hearsay? I guess I don't remember what that's from. Oh, wait, it might be from some Spirit Ashes, but I probably don't have the Albinoric Spirit Ashes, yeah. Okay, so we are going here. Cool. Interesting, this place is surrounded by those, like, weird rocks. There's these weird little, like, places that are kind of tucked away like that around Western Liurnia. Curse has to do with the sinkhole. I think it's because conifers here are more burnished orange colored. Interesting. Lake of rot underneath, causing the whole place to sink. People get scared and call it a curse. I could definitely, like, I don't totally know. I am a fan of the idea that it's got something to do with the Lake of Rot. Like, I think it makes sense. I've kind of wondered if, like, the curse is... I think I prefer the idea that it's separate from the Lake of Rot, like, because I don't think that the Lake of Rot is, like, inherently, like, a bad thing. I know that we perceive rot as being, like, bad, but I think it's just sort of like a force of... it's just sort of a force of rebirth. So I don't think it would necessarily have, like, a sort of... Maybe it's, like, eating into the earth around it, so... Yeah, I don't know. Just... It seems weird that it would affect the place above it to me, I guess. Because it seems like the rot kind of just, like, sinks downwards, and I don't know how that would affect stuff, like, above it. Rot is a force of nature, but also there's bringing in rot where it shouldn't be. It's a bad thing to do, Kayla. Right. And yeah, like, you can see, like, this area is sort of being, like, eaten away at. I'm really not, like, against the idea. It also seems like the Lake of Rot is, like, actually relatively contained. I was kind of under the impression that the water flowing over it was sort of keeping it in check, like it was sort of a source of rot that they had sealed away. Well, it does say it was sealed away, right? I thought some, like, the map or something said that. Okay. So how many items do I have? How many do I need? Let's go underground. That's perfect. That's perfect. This whole twisty-turny area should take me to the Dragonkin eventually. The Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella. If the Lake of Rot kept rotting downward, I think it would still affect the firmament above. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm definitely not against the idea at all. I really do think it makes a lot of sense. Like, you know, there is, like, a sickness beneath the area that is affecting the area above it. I don't know. I feel like the Lake of Rot is a better... It's one of the best options that we have, even though, like, you know, I'm saying I don't necessarily think that it is the Lake of Rot, but I do think that it is the best explanation that we have, because I don't really have, like, a better one. It's just sort of a vibe. I think there's something over here. There might be a cave. There's definitely a scarab or something. Cool. So this is one of those twisty... This only appears, like, I think here and before Renala, the building, like, right before Renala. A lot of the other... I think that might always be where these things are summoned from. I was thinking of the silver orbs. god. You know, I just noticed that the way that that thing just attacked was really similar to the way that the Wandering Mausoleums attacked. And I don't know, the Wandering Mausoleums have a bunch of like skulls attached to them, like a bunch. Seems like they have a bunch of death, kind of attached to it. So I don't know. Maybe there are more similarities there. Sort of grafted together death thing than I thought. Oh, I'm just gonna go this way. No need to distract that man on this fine day. What is over here? Why does this seem like there's this whole like obstacle course that just kind of ends nowhere? Whatever. I've considered that the curse could have something to do with Mikola or something like that. It's kind of a weak like link though. It's the idea is kind of vaguely based off of some the fact that I think he was here, and sleep is called like a quagmire or something a couple times. The pulling people, like the sleep pods say that they pull people into sleep, like a lullaby or a quagmire. And I don't know, I always just sort of thought that whatever was happening to the town was probably more... I guess I was gonna say I always thought it might be more of like a result of their actions, but it might be still. Wait, doesn't... Oh, I don't know where the map is down here. That might be it. Like, I'm pretty sure they put the maps in really weird spots down here, which is just on a body last time. Magic grease. Boy, oh boy. Found me a wad of magic grease. Oh wow, that was crazy fast. These things not like fully damage or something? Alright, I guess I'll wait to say this until the ad's over. I was just gonna talk about ant stuff. That's interesting. Do some not have stingers? Because I just realized that the... Some look like they have, like, oh god. Damn. The butt part. Oh god, what is it called? Head, abdomen. Some of them seem like the abdomen is larger. I think they don't have stinger. No, they all have stingers. Okay. Thorax. Oh, is the thorax the back part? That makes more sense because the abdomen. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Where... That's right. My runes are ahead. Oh, right. So these ants, or the ants, I should say, kind of seem to be like a mixture of two different ant species, in a way. So they they spit this like acid that becomes that I'm pretty sure carpenter ants can also spit. They have this way of sort of, it looks like, preserving nutrients using certain members of their colony, like honey, like something called honeypot ants. Actually, head, thorax, then abdomen. See, that's what I was thinking in my brain. I was like, head, thorax, abdomen, and I was like, but I was like, that doesn't. Maybe that's just the order I memorized them in. Butt part on a bug is abdomen. Gotcha. Okay. I need to remember that one. It comes up far too often. So there is a type of ant called like a honeypot ant or something like that. I think that's like one of the names it has. They find like sugar and they eat it. Like syrupy. They find like syrups or whatever and they drink it. Well, I guess, yeah, most bugs, I guess they just digest it and eat it and store it in their thoraxes, and their thoraxes can like expand to store a lot of this liquid. In fact, if you look up this like ant, there's some pretty cute pictures of them because scientists made like 3 drops of sugar water and they put food coloring in them. So some of the ants had like blue sugar water in them and red sugar water, and you could see like they looked like this, but not all gross. And they weren't this extended. Some of the honeypot ants act as like storage containers. All the other ants come to this and they, drop off juice. Yeah, see, this guy looks like he had some. So, it's probably not sugar water in this game. I'm gonna guess not sugar water. I personally think it has something to do with, like, the silver blood that Nightkin used to bleed. I am, like, 99% sure that the Nox are related to the Nightkin because they both have black sclera, and that just feels like a crazy specific trait. Don't they drop big runes? Yes. So I guess they're probably collecting. They might be collecting like gold runes. Yeah, they're collecting life force energy, which I guess makes sense. It's that's what food is, I guess, to a degree. So yeah, that makes sense. I guess they're like sort of coalescing runes together. I wonder if that makes them like ant lords, like ant king, ant queen, or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like Elden Ring rules would maybe ant lord, die ant lord. So yeah, I think it might have something to do with the fact that the Nightkin used to bleed silver, and now they don't. Because some of them also, the ones that are by the unnamed city, drop the Newman's runes, and I have a feeling that the Nightkin were like vaguely related to Newman. Just because, I think Newman probably came from the stars or something, and Nightkin kind of seem like they have a connection to the sky that makes it very possible for them to also kind of be like, maybe like a I don't know. I sort of imagine them as like the moon equivalent to a Newman. You know, like they are the silver to the gold. But there's a lot of like speculation going on in there. Ant 8 Newman / Nightkin. Yes, that is my like rough idea that I am sort of rambling around. I think that they might have done that, something like that. So now the only Nightkin that were left are just like maybe their blood is really diluted and they're just like Nox now or something. I'm not 100% sure on why that changed them or like what did change them or if the ants are related to the change. Black Knives are the tie between the Newman and Nightkin, right? They are a tie between the Newman and the Eternal Cities. Roger calls them scions of the Eternal Cities, which I'm pretty sure implies they are descendants of rulers or related. They're royalty, more or less, or like nobility or something like that. They're from the upper echelons of the Eternal Cities. Upper echelon? Upper echelonges. Jeez, when am I gonna hit these guys? So yeah, Roger says that they are scions of the Eternal Cities, and I think that the Black Knife armor says that they are, that they're Newman, or something like that does. I remember that there's some hearsay related to some of that, like it's not necessarily like definitive. I am of the opinion that it is true. Like, okay. I think that, basically, and this timeline video that I've kind of been taking forever to work on, goes into this a bit, but I kind of feel like the Newmen were more or less the ruling class. Like, there might have been, like, some gold ones and some silver ones or something, but they were the people that were in charge. They both might have technically been like Newmen, even though the Nightkin were like a different kind. But so I think it's possible that that's why Black Knives are Newman and scions of the Eternal City. I think that's why those two things are probably linked. Hearsay in a Souls game, why I never.
Is some customer? Well...
Right. Some of these goodies. Those are expensive goodies, so maybe not. Okay. So I think that there's a site of grace right around this corner. I was close-ish to a level up, but I just had to get greedy and buy a couple of small things. God, does my avarice know no bounds? Okay. So now we get around. God, excuse me. Now let's carefully sneak around these ants. Alright, I don't think they heard us. Right, so this formic rock. I'm pretty sure formic acid... Where the hell is it? I guess it's not super important. Formic acid is a, like... an actual acid that I'm pretty sure it's carpenter ants produce. So, maybe the ants feed on the Erd tree. Maybe they do the, what's it called? What's that dragon? There's a dragon, Needhog. It's nibbling at, the world tree's roots. Wow, formic acid. What's up, Emily? Yes, formic acid. It's all up in here because these ants are disgusting. So yeah, now I have to wonder if maybe whatever the ants are collecting is like chewed up Erd tree pulpiness. I don't... I mean, there are a bunch of bodies around here, right? Literally... Yeah, there's a couple piles. Yeah. Don't know why, but I forgot how much this, like, music/ambient game song gives me discomfort and anxiety. Oh yeah, it's that, that sort of trembling string instrument. Weirdly dissonant, yeah. Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of... Oh, okay, I thought of this a while ago and I totally forgot about it since then. I've actually wondered if maybe the, Oh, this actually makes a lot of sense. I think that the Nox might have a sort of relationship, you know, like maybe maybe they have a relationship with the ants. Maybe you could compare it to like how Native Americans had a relationship with buffaloes or something like that. But I think that they might use the ants to dispose of their dead. Like there are coffins all over these areas with the ants. So I'm wondering if like they feed the ants and then maybe, you know, some of the ants maybe they tame some of the ants as pets and ride them or something like that. But I feel like, you know, there are coffins all over here. I guess it's possible that the ants just, like, invaded these areas that the dead are in, but I do think that they're probably eating the dead, and I kind of have to think that it's possible that the Nox did it on purpose. I mean, they're riding some of them around. They seem to be working more alongside them than against them, in that respect anyway. Okay, so where does he actually come from? Does he come from that hole? The ants are deaf, like hypnotized or something, though? Their eyes are a different color? Yes, they are. And if you inflict sleep on the ants, they actually, when they wake up from sleep, they will throw the Nox off their backs, and they'll attack them. But, you know, you could maybe compare it to using rabid, you know, like wild animals to perform tasks for you, like You know, I'm not saying that the ants like them or anything, but you know, they're not actively trying to wipe out the ants, and they don't see the ants as like a threat to them or something. Which is how I feel like, you know, members of the Erd Tree would handle that situation. Ouch. Oh god, I need to get away now. I couldn't. That's fine. We're fine. God, he is so cool. Let's just take a look at this. Because this thing, first of all, on his back always kills me. I have no idea what the hell it is. It looks like it could be 8 dragons circling a thing. I don't know. 4 wings like an ancient dragon. So, yeah, that tracks. The stomach is gone, and he has these sort of like roots coming out from around his neck, which is kind of like a troll. You know, also trolls don't have stomachs, so I've wondered if maybe these guys were trolls, but very hard to say. I will say though that they have multiple. You might have heard me and Last Protagonist talk about this before. They have like multiple rows of teeth, and the only other thing that I've seen in the game that has that are worms. So they could be the product of Dragon Communion. Like they might have been. I think they might have tried to do some kind of ancient Dragon Communion. Like maybe it was sort of different than the other types, and they lost themselves. Just like, or who knows? They failed somehow. They, I don't think they lost themselves, but they didn't get immortality. Maybe they lost themselves. It's not important. Cool. They're guys who wanted to be dragons and failed. Aren't we all? People who wanted to be dragons and failed, if you really think about it. Like, deep down. Really think about it. That's weird. The shirt for a second looked, I mean, I need to look at that a little bit more later. But that looks a lot like the Guardian garb. I guess it's just one little piece of like a much larger thing, and so I'm maybe probably overanalyzing it. Especially since I'm not actually seeing... That looks so familiar, that pattern. Ooh, I need to look for that later. Just want to know who those giant skelly boys are. My guess, personally, is that they are like the antithesis to the fire giants. Like, you know, maybe they were ice giants or something. I think that they were associated with Tibia mariners. Like the way that they sit in those thrones and the way that they, you know, are always, like the way that it is in the middle of all this rushing water and stuff. I feel like it has something to do with the Tibia mariners. So I think that they might have regulated death in some way, whereas, you know, maybe the fire giants, maybe they had something to do with life. I've considered maybe like the crucible or something, because crucibles can also be containers that you melt metal in, but... Okay, so I leveled up a little. Maybe I can level up my armor a little too. Maybe the other one isn't in water. I think they're female, which lines up with the Nox thing. Well, okay, to be fair, the other thing you have to remember about where the other one is it's like it is like melting, and there could have been a river here or something. Like, it's hard to know if this place is totally different from how it looked before, but that is totally fair. Oh yeah, definitely not in the city though. Yeah, it's not like it was sitting in it like the other one was. Ooh, got some good level ups out of that. Cool. Oh.
Back already.
So, what do you have to say about Roderica?
I spoke with the girl. She has a gift for spirit tuning.
Those Bloodborne-looking statue guys are around them and kind of face them in the city. Oh, that's right.
It was all I could do to honor her.
Those, like...
I'm sorry I doubted you.
Melted dudes. The Scream.
Are you here for... I need to warn you about something. A little
Need
while
to warn
ago,
you about
someone
something.
started lurking in the wing on the opposite side of the round table, and I can hear, from all the way over there, the howling and wailing of spirits in fear of a curse. I can even hear the repulsive, twisted malice in itself. A plethora of spirits
Am I
in
lost?
an unceasing cacophony. I can't even imagine.
No, that was the right way.
How much
Just wasn't
suffering
loaded.
inflicted to who knows how many souls. Not even the grafting caused anything like this to happen. You should keep your distance. I know you're strong.
Keep my
but
distance
please.
from where? This direction? Okay. I'm just checking out the area that you said to stay away from. Heard something about some sort of twisting
Have you ever felt the curse
something of evil.
with your whole being?
Hey, Mr. Dude covered in
Once upon
teeth.
life itself,
You heard something about evil?
feared and despised by all. The reviled blessing.
Reviled blessing.
Apparently not.
Did you
You
sniff
are
me,
but a
dude?
lamb, a stranger to defilement, ignorant of your own ignorance. You no longer interest me. I've been long without peace. Don't spoil my quietude.
Anyway. Yeah, the Bloodborne. I'm gonna go look at those guys again real quick, too. Those screamy dudes. Because that has also made me think, like, that could be related to the way that, you know, the Nightkin lost. Like maybe this is people that all the blood got sucked out of them or something. Like, they were turned to stone. It is interesting that they don't have feet. Don't have feet. None of them have feet. Like Albinorics, like the juvenile scholars. Are these... God, I wonder what not having feet is symbolic of. Does that mean that you're somewhere between life and death, or that you're like is it a sort of a lack of a connection to the earth? Never thought about them not having feet, but they technically don't. Yeah, well, I mean, none of them are like the thing that I think is important about Albinoric is, like, you know, it's not that they don't walk or can't walk. Well, you know, obviously not the ones that are like fixed in the mountaintops, but they like their legs are literally just like disappearing.
The festival is not. The
So-
festival.
Ready as I'll ever be. So
Before we begin,
I have to wonder if whatever happened to them has something to do with the
Oh,
fact
this-
that, like, none of them have a lower half. I really want to somehow tie it to, like, you know, like legs and feet being like about a connection to the earth, and like maybe the Albinorics, you know, they're disconnected from the earth, so they don't have blah blah. I don't know, but it's just kind of because I don't have a better back in time for feet. Excellent. Now let's begin discussing America's second toe. Also known as the pointer toe. Or worst toe, hands down. I think you mean feet down. We have fun here. Gonna have to be faster than that. Got $1 for you. Got those jank toes where the pointer one is longer than the than the thumb toe. How have I not been hit? Well, and I guess I can get hit now. Evasive maneuvers. Okay. Demand a Leonardo DLC spinoff. Wait. My thoughts immediately went to like a Da Vinci DLC, like from like Assassin's Creed or something. Okie dokie. Where is he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Okay. Okay. Let's just, call up the gang. Cool. Something I noticed before also is that the way that these stones hover around him is very similar to the Karyan, like, flint blades. Like, Karyan phalanx or whatever. Cool. Damn. I've never seen that move before. That was cool. I'm not even mad that I died. That was so cool. corkscrew attack rules and kills you. I almost made it, sort of. Almost. Meteor Phalanx when? God, that would be a really cool, like... Oh my god, Leonard DLC. Like the horse. Jesus Christ. Okay, that was my bad. I was thinking about horses. Horson? Horseye? Figured you'd go back and read that eventually. That was a dangerous assumption, because reading is not one of my strong suits. I've actually been pretending how to read my entire life. I just completely guess whatever phrase is in front of me every time, and we happen to be in the timeline where every single one of those guesses is correct. So, yeah. Yeah, I was like, well, I wasn't really paying attention to him. This is the end. Okay, let's see if we can do it. Ouch. Let's go revive some buddies. That's... okay. That's tricky. Damn. Oh god. Okay. So, thank God he just attacked Jared, his best friend. Okay, no more healing. Oh my god, okay. I am gonna level up one more time, and I think I can beat him. Fought him in co-op with my partner, he would not stop corkscrewing at her the entire second phase. Yeah, that's what you gotta look out for with guys like Radon. They're always trying to corkscrew your girl. Anyway, where was I? I think there was... I think that there is stuff over here. There's a fort here, actually, with some good fire incantations. Okay. Where... God, what was my train of thought even? That was like, I think whatever my original train of thought was like 3 whole sentences ago, so that's basically gone. Yikes. Alright. Horse girl jock type dude. Okay, so blah 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 blah. I think it was something about Caelid Wilds or... Oh, those melted things underground. That's right. The fact they ain't got no foots. Oh, there's a site of grace over here. I can smell it. I think it's more in that direction. Okay, actually, by the way, this is really cool. So, this mound... Bum, 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 ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's a giant's chest. This giant fell over, and that is the middle part. Wait a second. My spider senses are tingling. I'm in enormous danger. Okay. I should have been like, can you spot the giant mistake? I don't remember the whole, like, spiel. Louder! Okay, that's fine. Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. I have Lieutenant Dan, the way he says, like, Lieutenant Dan, ice cream, stuck in my head all the time. Can you find the giant killer bird? If you guessed directly above you, you were correct. I thought there was a site of grace over here. Am I... I'm gonna cheat. Oh, there's a site of grace like right over there, I think. Yeah, so I guess not. Okay, I really wanted that item, so... Also, they have teeth? I do not like bird teeth. The phrase bird teeth is disgusting. That's interesting. They have rows of teeth, though. I just realized that. And I mean, we can't ignore their, like, similarities to dragons because of the fact that dragons have similarities to birds, too. For, like, whatever reason. I like their teefies. I don't like their teefies. Birds get beaks. Other stuff gets other stuff. Stuff with beaks don't get the other stuff. Those are the rules, and we need to respect them. That's... What they've done is unnatural. It goes against God and all other things. Oh, cool. I can just watch this guy die. Neat. For real? You guys just gonna be like... Okay, I'm out of here. This place is stupid. My lizard has nubbin teepees. Okay, well your lizard doesn't have a beak. You know what? I did that on purpose. Yeah. I'm gonna gaslight myself into thinking I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. Okay, so I want to get up to that fort. Now, this time I'm going to use my eyeballs. Follow the land. Try to make that happen. What if a canid had a beak? Could it have teeth then? I think I was pretty clear on the rules there, Rancid Nanners. You either get a beak or the other stuff. There are no other criteria. There are no exceptions. Beak teeth are cursed. Are there even, like... Beak and baleen. Probably also cursed. Trying to think of teeth equivalents. Boo, let them have both. He fears change. I don't fear change, I fear... It's not right. I fear unnatural abominations. All the other unnatural abominations of the game are pretty dope, actually, but, like, beaks and teeth are, like, wicked nasty. Yeah, I love the little, like, blood goo pile things that are just, like, you know, piles of gore. Oh, it's so cool, but, like, beak teeth? Okay. I wasn't... convene the Festival of War, honor General Radon with a warrior's glory. It's in your hands, Sir Jaren. Okay, so the people here... I mean, I guess that makes sense that they would know... Okay, Radon has... Radon and probably Jaren have, like, I guess maybe a deeper connection to this fort. There's a bunch of red mains here, so I guess that's not, like, the craziest thing to say, but... The fact that the Star Scourge medallion is here... Or Star Scourge heirloom is here is interesting. Where does this take me? Oh, doesn't this just take me... Like, somewhere close to Radon? Or, like, right before the bridge? Right after the bridge. Okay, so... Yeah, I guess it was just, like, a place for... Red Main, like an outpost for Red Mains. This was a way for them to get back quickly. Could go fight that. Well, let's go through Gelmer a bit. Need a jackal vulture creature in my D&D realm. So glad somebody finds that unsettling. Jackal vulture? Ugh. Yeah. Sorry, I was also thinking of like a hyena vulture. I think hyenas are really cool because they're like one of the only, as far as I know, or I'm pretty sure they're one of the only things that eats bones. It's really hard for like animals to eat bones, I think, because they are physically hard. Because it seems like a lot of the animals that eat bones have like massive necks so that they can actually like chew up the bones. They are quite large guys, and they destroy you with their giant heads. Hyenas are also one of the few predators to eat their prey alive. Oh! Dope! Giraffes eat bones for calcium? Okay, giraffes are actually terrifying. If anybody's not afraid of giraffes, then you don't know enough about giraffes yet. That's my opinion on giraffes. This might not have been where I intended to go. No, it wasn't. I wanted to be in that little... Oh, well. There's an easier way to get there. Oh, wait, I already... That's right, there's like a pathway through Volcano Manor. Totally forgot. I was gonna get myself captured. Hippos kind of makes sense. Hippos... hippos kill like a crazy amount of people a year. That's all I need to know. And they crush watermelons like they're bubblegum. Actually, I feel like I have more trouble with bubblegum than it does with watermelon. Let me munch on the carnage for calcium. Yeah, I know that, like, I think giraffes can, like, take on lions and shit, and, like, their heads can whip around because of, like, their necks. Their heads can whip around at, like, really high speeds. And, you know, they also have those little horn nub things that are cute as hell, but probably hurt a lot if they're going... Anything hurts a lot when it's going fast enough. Part people underestimate is their speed. Hippos will run you down. They just take a bit to start up. That is scary. I definitely... Yeah. Think I would probably... My toxic trait is thinking that, like... Not that I would be able to take one on. I'm not that stupid. But just thinking, like... You know, I bet I could last for, like a minute or two. Like, I bet I could last a little... Like, no. You couldn't, dude. I don't think I've ever, like, actually seen, like, an... Nah, but I bet I could take one on. Very fast at swimming and can hold their breath forever. But yeah, well, I can hold my breath for like several minutes. which feels like forever. So, maybe? Okay, so... do I not have, like, my lamp or anything? Fine. I'll use a light source. I'm one of those kids that like didn't use Flash in the original Pokemon games, and I just like ran around and bumped into stuff. Not even like as a source of pride though. I don't need it. It's fine. Whoops. Cool. My toxic trait is knowing I'm genuinely good at kiting people in real life. Why did I unequip that? Yeah, I got a visual snapshot of the room, so pretty much good. Some children don't know anything about game. What were you gonna do? Tie up the phone lines with your dial-up internet? Maybe find an answer on GameFAQs? Assuming you knew about such a web zone? A web zone? The hell is a web zone? I love that. Whoa, just yanked this out of my ear. Gross. Oh shoot, I think I could backstab those guys. I would run, but knowingly lead the predator to other people? Dude. Why are you, like, the person in the zombie movie that other people end up, like, hating? Should have been faster, loser. I know that's not what you were saying, but kind of sounded like it. You didn't say they were good people. Oh, so it was what you were saying. Here's my strategy. I make friends with just absolutely trashy, terrible people. I mean, the most insufferable people. I will absolutely hate my life. Anyway, I'll lead them into dangerous situations, so I don't have any guilt about using them to get away. All I have to do is constantly keep up this facade of friendship between the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. Okay. For a second, I kind of thought I was gonna get abducted on. I'm gonna go this way. Whoops. Not even good at being friends with people who I like. Pretending to be someone's friend would be exhausting. It would be less exhausting than running faster than someone that's really fast. Interesting, fire breath. I never really thought about how that is a crucible trait, and that one of them drops a crucible talisman. That's interesting. I mean, maybe that could be from, I guess maybe like perfumers, because they're like ancient Erd Tree priests. Like maybe they have some like, it's like a perfumer trick. Because I'm, what is it, spark something? There's like a perfume that uses fire. And, you know, it works by putting it in your mouth, and then you breathe the fire out, so it's not dissimilar. Okay. That's unfortunate. Let's look around this area. In a second. To deal with the Go-Go Gadget Extendo body here. Alright. So this is the spot right here, by the way, where if you are abducted, you start out. Like, you teleport, like, right here. So it's right beneath that doorway. Lava. It's interesting. Is this the source of the lava? I've never really thought about that. And yeah, this is the really screwed up part of all this, and this is what, so I'm pretty sure what happened was Riker made the volcano explode strategically. I think that he saw it as a, you know, numerical victory. He nuked his own town to, he won the battle to, like, try to win a war. I, you know, don't know all the details. I have a feeling, you know, he didn't just, you know, kill all of his own troops necessarily, but this is his city, consumed by lava. So I think that that's why it's called one of the greatest atrocities in the Shattering, because it's one thing to decide, okay, like, we're gonna stop treating, you know, we'll do anything to the enemy in order to achieve victory, and then it's another thing, even beyond that, to then say we're willing to do anything to our own people to achieve whatever goals we have. Riker really was just, well, what does he say? The road of blasphemy is long and arduous. One cannot walk it unprepared to sin. He really tried to convince himself. Basically, he was pulling, if anyone's fan of Watchmen. He was trying to pull an Ozymandias. Pretty sure that's how you say his name. He really thought that he could do all this awful stuff. And as long as, you know, all that mattered was that he won. Because in the end, he can make everything alright. The ends will justify the means. Jesus Christ. I'll just avoid those things. I don't even need to fight them. He built this city on rock and roll. He built the city on rolling rock. Literally. We're like roiling rock, am I right? I don't know, there's a joke in there. Reading this book, playing about torture and man. People are screwed up. Initially reading the book to learn more about torture. Oh, for this area of Elden Ring. Right, totally understandable. There are a lot of, like, weird torture methods, archaic torture methods it looked like that are sort of employed here. What's up, Kick 6? But I am also, I think that it's very possible that the lava and the serpent have something to do with madness, because of the way that I think that suffering might fuel Rykard's power, which I think also might be like a source of power for, or it might be the source of. That's more or less what madness is, kind of, sort of. Torture during this era was done for specific reasons. Right, I remember that the Black Dumpling, specifically says, though, that, when it comes to that, it's just about pain. Inflicting pain, just for the hope of, just to try to cause suffering. And I think that could be part of what was, why they were made to suffer. Again, the ends justify the means. If Rykard understood that he could get a lot of... That is actually messed up. I wonder if, there's something where, you know, a ruler can use, the emotions of their people to kind of, power himself. So, you know, you'd want to be, a good person to elicit, powerful, strong emotions from people, but Rykard might have understood that it is far easier to elicit powerful, negative emotions. Not saying that every lord necessarily does that, but, if you could use emotion as a source of power, it would be really... It's hard to argue that, you know, it's easier to cause a lot of pain. It's hard to argue, whatever. Yeah, that's a thing. King Henry II burned the fields of his subjects and killed their livestock? Really? Oh my god, yeah, what if Rykard even inflicted suffering on his own people to give himself power? Emotions are for sure a source of magical power in these games, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, and especially when it comes to, you know, Rykard's hexes specifically, Rykard's rancor. I'm pretty sure that it specifically says it draws on the power of the something of defeated foes or something. Something. How many more times can I say that? No reason, but he was paranoid and power hungry. Gotcha, which totally could have been... I mean, that seems like a road that Rykard might have been headed down. It seems like he lost himself, or Rykard was lost. And they have Inquisitors here. What is it? A little bit of hint. Oh, I thought, oh, there's also something... Oh, the candlestick, it was... I don't know if those actually say anything about why people were tortured here, though. And I mean, if you look at the lava too, like I'm not gonna say that this is like proof of anything, but it really does have like the way it swirls is really similar to like the frenzied flame. The frenzied flame has a kind of like jagged, swirly look that is not unlike that. I guess those people were just strung up. But so this was a prison town, actually, now that I'm remembering correct, or I think. So maybe it wasn't... See, it is interesting that you would put a prison right in the middle of your own place unless you were, like, maybe using it as, like, a source of power. Like, I hadn't really thought about that before. This is the... That is the prison town. Well, maybe... I don't know if this counts as part of the prison town as well, or if this is just a town, made of town. He's like a Justicar, right? So I guess maybe like a convict camp or something like that. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. This could have been where criminals were sent. Just like before the war. So by the way, this is one of 3 Black Flame monks in the entire game. The only other 2 in the game are in Radahn's Divine Tower. This guy and the fact that there is a Godskin noble in here make me like... and all the crazy, you know, there are so many combinations, or like, they both have all of these, like, a reverence for skin. There's literally the snake skin strung up. Like, it's a monument to skin in there. Godskins wear skin for power. I really have a feeling that this temple and that serpents have something to do with the Godskins. I mean, he also has that tail, the, like, serpentine tail. He's like an Australian colonist, lol. That was... I think he caught me at, like, actually just, like, the worst part of my dodge. That was probably the worst possible time for me to dodge. They share a goal, right? Well, so... I also don't want to necessarily align... You know, I don't want to say that the Serpent and Rykard are... They're not necessarily, like, the same. The Serpent existed a long time before Rykard did, and I think that before, you know, it consumed Rykard, I think that the Glowmide Queen might have had... The Glowmide Queen, or... She could have been something like what, you know, Rykard is for the Serpent now. Like, maybe... I don't know if necessarily she was consumed by it, but, she could have lived in Gelmir, especially since, the Godslayer seal uses obsidian, which is a volcanic glass. Or it's inlaid with obsidian. And so are Black Flame Monk's, armor. So yeah, I think that the serpent, I think that they had some kind of connection to the serpent, like pre-shattering, like they could have even, you know, pre-America, probably. And I think Rykard found maybe like eggs, like snake eggs. In the image at the beginning of the game that shows at the image at the beginning of the game that shows Rykard, his head being consumed. There are 3 eggs in the top left, and only one of them is like hatched. So there's like, he found conceivably 3 serpent eggs, and that implies to me that the serpent might have been killed and didn't exist for a period of time, and then Rykard like might have sort of brought it back for his own ends during the shattering, maybe. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was just me being dumb. I kind of thought I could stagger him, but no. So yeah, I also there's like a whole lot of things that make me think that the Glowmite Queen feel like Rykard is using the Albinaurics to study their creation. That's interesting. Cool thought. So he's like killed one snake so he could raise a replacement one, and maybe it's all evil and corrupt and shit because he raised it. I think that like maybe like the original snake was killed like a long time ago. Maybe during Godfrey's like conquest even. Because it says that the serpent's seen as like, you know, a traitor to the Erd Tree, or like as like a sort of an enemy to the Erd Tree. So I think that when the Erd Tree took over, they probably would have taken out the snake. But I think that it's possible that Rykard, you know, someone that he knew, Garrus, rediscovered the death hexes, and then he modified those death hexes to create the magma sorceries. Which is why, you know, Rykard's Rancor looks exactly like Rancor Call. I think those are the hexes of Gelmir. So I think that maybe whenever he discovered those hexes, he might have discovered those snake eggs, and he could have sort of, you know, kept them in his back pocket until he needed them. And then the shattering comes along. You've got to use everything you've got to win this war, no matter what the stakes are. So I think he kind of, I think that he allowed himself to get eaten for a smart reason, but it kind of backfired just because you can't trick the system. So when you perform communion, dragon communion anyway, what happens is, my brain is just not in fight mode right now. You lose what you once were. It sort of starts to fade away, and then it's replaced by whatever you consumed, the dragon in this place. So I think the serpent has a similar sort of way of, it consumes people, and then the things that it consumed becomes part of it. And Rykard was banking on his mind and sort of power, I guess his willpower or whatever, being strong enough for him to... I think that the snake sort of lost a little bit of what it was, and then became, you know, Rykard a little bit. But it wasn't enough, it didn't gain enough of Rykard to, like it's still the snake at a foundational level with Rykard's just kind of like stuff built on top of that. So I think that the serpent had sort of a natural, you know, serpents are symbols of like greed. So I think that it just sort of naturally twisted his ambitions that were probably positive into something that was like a dark version. Okay, that's annoying. I was snoozing the ads. Okay. Are you for real, though? Jesus Christ. Anyway. Oh, studying their creation to make snake. To make snake! To make snakes. He's using abductor virgins, which is kind of like a cruel plan abducting the albinorix, the being born of a mother. It also kind of makes me think about, you know, the cuckoos, or like a cuckoo bird kicking the children out of the nest or whatever, but I know that's sort of a different thing, probably. Tinfoil hat theory, but if you do subscribe to Glowmite Queen equals Melina theory, she burns the tree and there are paintings of the tree burning all over Volcano Manor. I do think that it's probably Melina, but yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. A pretty glaring Albinoric to prison pipeline from Rhea Lucaria, definitely. Patches tells you to go get abducted. I think they may have made a new entity together the way that Horalu plus Sarashi was Godfrey. Same. Yeah, I think that you... Oh, Emily, I think you're definitely onto something too, because the Serpent's Amnion, I have always thought looks, you know, they both... It's... The Serpent's Amnion has, like, the sort of same... what is it? It looks like a fetus, sort of like the, or like a womb, that the way that the larval tear sort of does. Like a silver tear, yes. So they both definitely have these sort of connections to rebirth. At the very least. Fetal qualities. Yeah, for sure. And there is an implication, I'm pretty sure, like, it's pretty strongly implied that the snake men, or that the serpent men are, yeah, like, people that have been abducted, and I think, yeah, they're probably being turned into snake men, which I think might have been what you were saying, Emily, but I don't know if I maybe just, like, didn't understand until now. Jesus Christ, okay. It's just not meant to be right now. It's, like, near the end of the stream, and I think my brain is, like... exploding inward. Only there was a word for that. Like an in-explosion. Or the snake men are created in somewhere. Yeah, I think that something... I want to say that something implies, like, people started disappearing and then, like, snake men started appearing. But I don't remember where that is said. Want to make a band and call it that? Fetal qualities? That would be awesome. We are fetal inequality. Whatever, I messed up the accent, but fetal inequality. Because, you know, social reasons. We're here to stand up against the fetal pay gap. Where's the snake dude that always comes over here and kicks my ass? I also think it's interesting the snake statues have wings. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up, because that is something that, like, there are like combinations sort of like of creatures, it feels like, all over. Also, the creatures that are depicted there are, you know, they're not unlike dragons at all. Like, bird wings, 2 feet, snake head. Serpents are regarded as snake-like beings in, like, a lot of cultures. They have feet, too. I mean, this could be like some sort of proto-dragon or something I've considered. I don't know what the hell to make of this, but, maybe a serpent ate a bird, and then that's where dragons come from. Why does everyone want to be a dragon anyway? Because they're dope as fuck. Like, they suck? They suck. Okay, anyway, before anything more controversial happens, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Placidus Axe is crusty, but that's beside the point. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I hope I see you next time. Bye-bye.